The woman at the door looked like someone from a magazine. Flawless skin, calm eyes, and an unsettling presence that made me shift on my feet. The little girl beside her couldn't have been more than 4, and she looked like Derek. Same almond-shaped eyes, same dimple, same silence when confused. Derek, the woman repeated, her voice firmer. Say something. I turned to him slowly. He looked like someone just hit him with a hammer. His lips parted, but no sound came. I don't understand, he said firmly. You told me she wasn't mine. The woman let out a dry laugh, and you believed me. Just like that. Now she keeps asking why all the men she calls uncle don't feel like daddy. Why she looks like you. Derek stepped back like his legs were weak. Her name is Imani, she replied. You named her, remember? I had heard enough. I picked my bag and walked past them, out the door. Anita, wait, Derek called after me. But I didn't stop. I don't want to hear another lie, another secret, another heartbreak. That night, I cried harder than ever before. Not because Derek had a child, but because I had spent so long being put between 2 broken men and forgot to take care of myself. I deleted both Daniel and Derek's numbers. I blocked their calls and started therapy. I walked back to my painting, opened a small art studio with the little savings I had left. I began to find me again. Weeks passed, then months. Then one day I got a letter. It was handwritten from Derek. Dear Anita, I lost you and I deserved it. Yes, I have a daughter. I was lied to at first, but that doesn't excuse the lies I told you. You were the first person I ever truly loved, and I broke that. I want to spend the rest of my life making things right, even if it means from a distance. I'm starting over, as a father, as a man. And if you ever forgive me, I'll still be waiting, Derek. I folded the letter, tucked it into my drawer, and smiled. Not a love smile, a healing one. One afternoon, while hosting a children's art class at my studio, a little girl approached me. You're pretty, she said. I smiled. Thank you, sweetheart. What's your name? Imani, she grinned. I froze, then looked up and saw Derek standing at the door, not moving, just watching. He didn't say anything. He simply nodded. And I nodded back, peacefully. No drama, no tears, just closure. A year later, my studio won a local grant. I was invited to speak at an empowerment conference for women who had been emotionally manipulated and deceived. I stood on stage and smiled at the crowd. My name is Anita, I said confidently, and I made a terrible mistake once. I mistook a man for someone else and lost everything. The audience went silent. But that mistake led me to find myself. And loving myself fully is the best decision I ever made. Applause filled the hall. I smiled wider. And as I walked off the stage, a tall gentleman approached me. Not Daniel, not Derek. Someone new. Hi, he said. I loved your story. Can I buy you coffee sometime? And for this first time in a long while, I said yes. I didn't hear from Daniel again. Not a call, not even a message. And honestly, I felt relieved. The pain was enough already. I had made a terrible mistake by falling for 2 brothers, one by accident, the other by heart, and it felt a wound I wasn't sure would ever heal. But I chose to heal anyway. 1 year later, my studio had grown. I started painting again, not from pain this time, but from freedom. My work was being noticed, even featured in local Lagos galleries. I had peace, no lies, no twins, no heartbreak. Just me, my canvas, and the future. One sunny afternoon, I got a surprise visitor. I stepped out and nearly dropped my paintbrush. It was Derek. He looked different, calmer, soft. He wasn't wearing any expensive designer wear, just a simple shirt and jeans. And beside him was a little girl holding a small drawing. It was a painting of me. Imani wanted to give it to you, he said. I looked at the child, then at him. Hi, she said shyly. Hi, sweetheart, I replied, kneeling to her level. Is this for me? She nodded. I took it. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, pure, honest, just like what I needed in my life. Derek handed me a letter. I won't stay long, he said. I just wanted to say thank you for loving me when I didn't even know how to love myself. I didn't respond. I watched him walk away with his daughter, and for the first time in a long while, I didn't feel pain. I felt closure. 6 months later, I met someone, not a twin, not someone with secrets, just a kind man who loved my smile more than my mistakes. His name was Emeka. He was a teacher, quiet and patient, and he never asked me to explain my past. He only cared about my present. One day, while watching the rain fall on our balcony, he turned to me and asked, Do you believe in second chances? I smiled. I believe in new beginnings. The end. Moral of the story: sometimes life uses heartbreak to lead us back to ourselves, and from there, real love finds its way. Sometimes your worst mistakes become your best lesson, and healing doesn't come from going back, it comes from moving forward. Thank you for listening. Please, if you enjoyed the story, follow Savannah Folktales for more interesting real urban stories. Thank you and God bless you.